a real pleasure to be here. First of all, I always feel like the Podcar City Conferences is kind of like a family reunion, so to speak, and everyone's on friendly terms. And it's a pleasure for me to be here in a new capacity. And I got a couple of videos, so I'm going to probably skip some. Hopefully they'll be included with the after remarks or whatever. But so in April, I moved over to Local Motors, a company I've been monitoring for at least a year or so. They've been around since 2007, and really what I am encouraged about the platforms that they're developing is really, I think, what's exciting about, I think, for this community is that there's a lot of new potentials coming up, either through new systems like our new capabilities through 3D printing, which I'll kind of go over, direct digital manufacturing, the trade of data, mobility, and really Internet of Things. So a lot of new tools out there that I think will encourage mobility, manufacturing, and new potential mobility opportunities. So we are Local Motors. This is a picture of one of our micro factories. And we want to do more than just manufacturing. And so one of the principles of Local Motors is really developing vehicles that meet specific needs in local communities. But it's more than just about building vehicles. It's about decentralizing the manufacturing methodology today. So we exist to really shape the future, and I think some of the tools we use will also help you shift to the future. And so we wanted to really focus on the vehicle, because the vehicle, I think, if you start to look at the vehicle and deconstruct that, you can really start to make impacts on other aspects of our lives, whether that be land use, whether that be architecture, whether that be the use and mobility of our own lives, personal mobility to and from work, bringing packages to you. And one of the things I used to say as well is that, right now, whether you're developing or you're delivering people, packages, or pizzas, you only have a few different choices. And so I think the future is you're going to see a lot more different sizes, forms, right-sized vehicle fleets. And Local Motors is poised to help with that process. So if we say if we can fix this, we can fix just about everything. One of the big founding principles or stool, or one of the legs of the three stools that we sit on, is co-creation, and I'll demonstrate that and how that really takes a big part of how we manufacture and how we design vehicles. But we have an online community that I'll invite you all to partake in. Approximately 50,000 individuals across 70 different nations currently that really co-create with us through specific competitions that we launch, and I'll show you some of those. So we're not just innovators, we're manufacturers. We fit somewhere in between, and we just don't prototype. We may make limited quantities in some of our vehicles, but they're custom. They're commercial. And so we like to say that we can create dreams and realities like no one other, because we're working in a community. In 2007, when the company was founded, in 2007. By 2008, we demonstrated the first co-created vehicle, the Rally Fighter. So that's the one principle that they wanted to demonstrate at that particular point. It's traditionally manufactured, muscle desert vehicle, but quickly, went to more alternative practices in manufacturing. This was a DoD project that Local Motors was involved with, really reducing the time of manufacturing from 12 to 4 months, and really looked at some of our online community to help develop a battery management system. Then we did another particular product for Domino's, where we used our crowd in a co-creation competition, where we developed this vehicle. It's been highlighted in the Super Bowl and other NFL commercials. This particular design was taken from Local Motors and developed and produced. I think they produced like 100 vehicles with a traditional OEM. And then this is the Strati. This is, so by 2000, from 2007 to 2014, we did, this is a 3D printed, the world's first 3D printed vehicle. So this is a unibodied 3D printed vehicle that, put tires and a couple, put seats in within about a 45-hour period at the Detroit Auto Show, and we're able to drive it out. And this next video I want to show you is but what this is demonstrating, it's a lot more intense with the soundtrack behind it. But this is a time-lapsed camera video of the 3D printing there at Detroit Auto Show. So we use a large, it's called a big area added manufacturing 3D printing mechanism to do the car, the Strati. That's actually nice to see the different layers of the 3D printing and some of the areas in which the propulsion system actually sits in the back. But these will be routed out, and you put lights and other electronic figures.
What's the material?
It's a 80-20 plastic carbon. Here, so yeah, let's start it over here. Okay. Well, in the interest of time, you get the point. You can always contact me. I can send you additional information or that video. Oh, here it goes again. Anyway, pretty cool. So the new mobility. I was kind of brought on board as a mobility expert for locomotors, really to educate internally and externally, build markets for vehicles that are going into the new mobility ecosystem. I think that we all know is quickly developing. Because in 2015 we launched the Urban Mobility Challenge out of our Berlin office, where as our competitions go, we put out different specifications. We wanted multi-use, shared use mobility, fully electric, pedestrian friendly, able to use bicycles or augmented quickly, possibly for freight, and then through several month competition, we received close to 200 different viable responses to that, and this one won. This was designed by Edgar Sarmiento, a 20-something vehicle designer from Colombia, taking school in Italy. And so in about 9 months, we took this particular competition to what we now call the Olli, which is a 12-passenger, fully electric shared use shuttle van, driverless shuttle van. So what this is, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to hear is we've designed most of our vehicles to be very open platform, and we're talking about hardware as well as software and other different technologies. And so what this is showing is we did a ribbon cutting in April in National Harbor, really across the river from Washington, D.C. And so this is showing our CEO Jay Rogers talking about the possibilities of Olli, and you can really hear you can interact with Olli through IBM's Cognitive Watson IoT, and so you won't get to hear. He's actually talking to Olli right now, and so we're really trying to develop a personality with Olli to encourage, and really do some more additional research on this human-machine interface. I think that's going to be very important, because as we heard, from some of our other friends already, that people tend to bully robots, and so this hopefully puts a little bit more of a personal perspective on Olli. And just for the interest of time, I'm gonna again, here's not much different than what other colleagues are doing. Shared use is where we need to go. Electric, autonomous, transit friendly, on demand, reducing the costs. And I think that's one of the benefits of the 3D printing and the micro manufacturing is not only do we use 3D printing for components, it's about 30% 3D printed, some of the body, some of the wheel wells. We do 3D printed molding and tooling, which really reduces the time of manufacture and the cost. some of our key partners here that because of the open framework that we've enlisted several different technology partners that are really helping us move into the new era. Highlighting Watts in there, but we're also doing a fleet optimization and ride consolidation software with some I think key partners. So it's just more than a vehicle too. It's really an ecosystem. So looking at consolidating rides when necessary, and based on your personal profile and the relationship that you have with Olli, whether or not you need to go to the corner to pick it up, whether it comes to your house, hopefully helps you with your schedule and adhering to that, and linking with other modes of public transportation. So here's really it's trying to hit that first and last mile challenge that we've all been working on for decades, whether that's on demand or fixed route. There's multiple opportunities there. Here's another video I was going to play. You can go to meetolli.auto. We'll be updating that, but it's a nice promotional. We have a great marketing team. There was another video there. This is what I think is important too. Is Olli's going to be one of our first vehicles in the mobility ecosystem. I think is developing. You'll see in the center there, as you look at individual and organizational customization, from utility and custom, whether say like the Domino's car we did, or utility more like where Olli might sit. When you're doing mass production, you kind of have to put your stake in the sand and say, this is the vehicle we're doing. We might be able to change the color. You might be able to do hard seats, soft seats. But when you do micro manufacturing and you're really developing on the fly, you have a lot of great opportunities to work out in the fringe, and that's what we're doing on a hardware as well as software integration with our vehicles. And so, I want to encourage all of you to join our community. You can go right to localmotors.com. We need more of us type of thinkers engaging in these designs of not only vehicles but also appliances, and that's one of the backbones that we work on across industry spectrums. But really, when in the vehicles that we're designing, I think we need mobility experts. We need people that are thinking about transportation, and we need people that are thinking about Podcar integration to join in our community. There was another one there, video, and then I just wanted to end on this. That this is the possibility. I've been looking at Podcars for a long time. I know there's some dialogue and communication on guideway, off guideway. I think we're looking at a future where there might be bimodal, where we can utilize some of that infrastructure more efficiently. That can go on and off guideway and really utilize different types of vehicles, right-sized vehicles, right-sized fleets to create better mobility and linkages with existing transportation. So with that, I'll thank you all.